even in a Trumpless debate, the shroud of anger and grievance colors everything. I mean, when you talk about people's good moments, it's not because they're offering some brilliant vision or showing humor or humanity or charisma. It's like Nikki Haley got really mad at Vivek Ramaswamy and said that he has no foreign policy experience and it shows. Or, you know, Chris Christie landed one on Vivek Ramaswamy. I mean, it's Vivek Ramaswamy being the whipping post of all of this. But even the crowd, the Brett Baier moment, the having to scold the crowd. There was a time in American politics when winning wasn't just about who was the angriest. Who was the meanest, who landed the punch most directly. And it is so clear to me that one of the myriad ways in which Trump has transformed the GOP is by making it a party that is driven by rage and is powered by a sense of grievance and injustice. And there is no offering of a vision for the country. There is the slamming of Democrats and liberal elites and Joe Biden and American society writ large is poisoned. And exactly. But no mourning in America here.
Yeah, and that was almost more on display with Trump's very noted absence. If this is a dysfunctional family, Dad's not here tonight. Dad's in a lot of trouble. And you must prove that even if we all know and refer to the bad things Dad did and continues to do, you're being tested by your ability, most of them, to toxically defend not only everything Dad got caught doing, but if Dad gets in even more trouble, you're tested by standing by him in the future. That is obviously, I think it is fair to say, unhealthy. To Nicole's point, the reason Mike Pence followed the rules is because he didn't want a mugshot. A lot of other people got mugshots, White House officials, lawyers who served for the then president, other people. So all of that I thought was played out. It is interesting. The other thing we learned that we say, well, okay, we already know, but no, you've got to check. We'd like to see the facts. The first debate of the 2016 campaign in the Republican Party, which was, you know, a year out-ish, so it was in 2015, had a huge market for anti-Trump voices and something we might call right of center, hardcore, but not Looney Tunes conservatism. I think it's fair to say some of them. And where is that market now? Even when Dad is away. It's very scary for most of those people, I think, in fairness, with perhaps the possible exception of Chris Christie at times, and perhaps Haley in foreign policy as being a type of, she spoke about certain facts and talked about realities. But the bulk of the stage for the bulk of the night, even though he dissed them by not being there and dissed the host sponsor, was all the market for Trump. So we're a long ways, obviously, from 2015.